Hi Tom, obviously let's just jump straight in. Massive game on Sunday against Luton Town at Vicarage Road, and one that the fans are going to really be hoping for a result from.
Yeah, I expect an occasion that feels a little bit different to a run-of-the-mill league game. But for us, it's 3 points. It's a chance for us to perform consistently again, which I feel like we have done in our last 4 games. And I said to the players, you perform with that level of quality and application, then long term it'll bring a lot more positive results than negative, and that was backed up by the win at Middlesbrough, which was important that the players start to believe in this consistency, and yeah, Sunday's another chance for us to show that, and I understand it means more to all of us and supporters more than anyone, but yeah, it's for us it's 3 more points to get us where we want to be.
And obviously was disappointment back in October. You must be hoping to kind of put that right this time round.
Yeah, it's a fixture that's proved successful for the home team ever since I've been back at the club, and we've faced Luton. It's been a very home-sided fixture, so we're hoping to continue that.
Well, what do you put that down to last time? Do you think maybe the players struggled under the occasion a bit? Is that something you can work on this time, and you're confident will be better this time around?
Yeah, it's felt a very similar fixture to the one that we had there with Chris Wilder. I was injured for that one, but I went there and it felt very similar. So yeah, I'd certainly learn on the approach of how to approach the derby, especially next time we go there, and I've the things I've taken away from that I've implemented for this preparation, and the players are in good spirits ahead of it.
How do you approach a game like this with the players? Because obviously you want to remind them the importance of the fixture and what it means, but at the same time you don't want to kind of build it up into something where it feels like there's loads of pressure on them.
Yeah, you are. As a coach, you have to be adaptable. If I saw a group of players that looked like they wanted war and peace, they wanted a British Lions style speech, then I can do that. If I feel like I've got a group of players that it needs keeping a lid on and let's just go about our business like we have been doing, then I can also do that. So you have to adapt as a coach to the group you've got and what you think they will respond best to.
Obviously Luton are really struggling at the minute, but I guess the saying is the form goes out the window in games like these.
Couldn't be more a true statement for this weekend, to be honest. The league table has no relevance for me ahead of this fixture, neither does recent form. It's a clash of styles, which I think if it was a boxing match, then it'd be, the clash of styles is always interesting. So, yes, there's a lot of angles to look at it, but one I won't be looking at it from is where their league position is.
That's a good point, because I guess that poses you a challenge in a different way. I think the Plymouth manager said about the amount of long balls and the aerial challenges they had, so I guess you kind of have to deal with that in a different way than you would to a team that plays in a very different style. Yeah,
listen, I'm a football purist, but I absolutely don't turn my nose up. There is more than one way to win in this game, and they're very effective at what they do, so there's no football snobbery here. I see a certain way of my team playing, and it's a different style to theirs, but like I said, there's more than one way to win, and I don't turn my nose up at it at all.
And like you said, the really good win at Middlesbrough, even taking away who it's against out of it must just be really important for yourself just to get another result, another points on the board, so you can start building momentum and pushing back towards that top 6.
Yeah, it was all about the result last weekend, because I felt Norwich with 10 men for most of the game, we performed well. Sunderland, we were excellent. Leeds, in possession, I thought we were good and got extremely hurt without the ball. So there's 3 that I thought solid performances for no wins, so it was important. Middlesbrough, I managed to get the performance and the result and give us belief and confidence going into what's an important game.
I guess it's also given you some really difficult team selection decisions to make. Obviously both the centre-halves were magnificent against Middlesbrough, but Mattie Pollock dropped to the bench, and I guess questions about whether he'd come back in for such an important game against Luton.
Correct, yeah, it's a good question, good statement, whatever you... Matty needed a rest after that Leeds game. He's played almost every minute for us, and then Kevin steps in and does fantastically well. A great, really important away clean sheet. So, little selection headache. I'm not a coach who thinks a winning team has to stay set. I would make a change or two, horses for courses and all that. So I've still not made my mind up, but I'm glad that they're nice problems to have.
And of course, back from suspension as well. But young Mamadou Doumbouya's done really well since he come into the team.
Yeah, another selection headache, and I'm really pleased that we've got Bayo back. He's obviously scored double figures for us this season. He's a position where we have zero depth in, not little depth, zero depth. There's Mamadou, and that's basically it. So to have Bayo back as an option really does help.
Any other players coming back from injury or anything like that?
All progressing well. Pierre Duomo, Dan Bachman, Quadro Bar, all progressing well. I expect them to see them back in that order. Maybe Pierre towards the end of the month, Dan just after that, and Quadro more towards the middle of March.
John, I don't think I've ever seen you so disappointed, not to say angry maybe, after the result of Luton this season. You had a few things to say afterwards, but obviously 4 months to think about it. You've got a chance to put things right now. Is it a matter of revenge, or have you got to take the emotion out?
No, we've certainly got to take the emotion out of it. I've taken a different approach to preparing the team this week. It was a period of a few days where I became a bit obsessive and possessed on what happened, reflecting how to improve, and funnily enough, that game and the two Preston games have really inspired me to improve the team and the players. So let's hope it was one of those times where a huge setback can propel you forward. I've been in the main we've coped with setbacks well, but yeah, it's in the back of our minds that we have to deal with the challenges they pose to us in a better fashion.
It was after that Luton match, it would have been a few days before you sort of got over it, so to speak, if you did get over it.
Yeah, no one ever enjoys losing, especially not me, but I understand for us all, the players, the staff, the supporters especially, this one has a little bit extra on it, and it's an important game that we first and foremost compete and apply ourselves properly, which I've seen we're willing to do. It was a huge physical performance at Middlesbrough. The lads are really behind each other, behind me, and we need to carry all that into a game where it's very important we compete.
Of course, as a player for some years and now as a manager, you fully appreciate the sort of the meaning and the weight of the match, certainly to supporters anyway. Because you did play, I think it was 2020, you played in the match yourself. Yeah,
fortunately I never played with fans present. I played in two derbies behind closed doors, so it's certainly one I played in United, Manchester derbies, and I played in Everton Liverpool game, but when I came back in 2017, I didn't really understand the magnitude of the rivalry, and it wasn't until we were in the same league that then you really understand. Oh yeah, this is huge for our supporters and for everyone within the club. So yeah, I really do understand the history behind it, and I'm looking forward to the occasion.
You were talking earlier about boxing styles. How. I'm comparing that to football. So in this game, we're talking boxing styles. Who's Muhammad Ali and who's Mike Tyson?
I don't want to get into that. What I do understand is it's important that you land the first blow, and the start of the game will be very important for both sides.
Thanks. We talked about days off versus clear weeks. What's your view on it this week? Because you've had a nice clear week and they have to play Wednesday night.
Yeah, I think always having more time to prepare is an advantage. I've covered with the players for 4 days on our next opponent, whereas they probably will only get 2, and we have to capitalise that. I don't think going down the route of more physical work towards this game, we have to look like the fresher team, and I felt like we did that last week with getting an extra day on Middlesbrough, so we have to do the same on Sunday.
You talked about different styles. Are you surprised that Luton have gone back to almost sort of Nathan Jones level, sort of directness?
No. The short-term results is important for us all in this industry. And when you're bottom of the league and a new manager, probably more so than ever. So absolutely not surprised that they can count themselves a little bit unlucky, and you probably don't expect me to say that, that they've only got 1 point from their last two. And I think the Sheffield United game was them going back to older ways, and they were really effective and deserved a draw in that game, certainly, and deserved to beat Plymouth playing the same way in the week. So it's an effective style of football that they play, and the players will have no excuses if they weren't ready for it, because we're prepared towards that.
I mean, Watford Wednesday, they've got some real giants. We are not physically the biggest. Does that concern you, that sort of advantage they've got in terms of height and size?
Certainly plays a part in team selection, and also it places an importance on imposing your style on them. We can't just accept that, okay, yeah, it's going to be a game of this and that. No, we have to compete at this and that, but we also have to impose ourselves on them. And I think the home advantage of this fixture has also swayed that.
If you want to impose your style, are you going to have to match them physically in order to be able to do that?
Absolutely.
You can't assume that they're going to let you play.
Match and surpass, yeah. Match and surpass. I think there's more than one way to dominate someone physically rather than just strength and height. You can run, you can sprint, and there are physical ways we can dominate their players. So we have to match and surpass them physically, and then impose our style.
The players we've got that played in derby games, but have you had to sit down and explain to some of them why this is a bit different?
I did that earlier in the season, so that they know the fixture is a little bit different and carries a little bit more weight. So I don't feel like I need to relay that message.
Were you in the room when Giorgi did the meeting before the last Luton game?
I wasn't. No, I was injured again. But he's a fantastic leader of men. It wasn't unusual that we'd have sort of players' meetings that were led by the leaders, but I do remember Truce was always very good at chairing those meetings and good leader of men and someone that you'd want in these type of games.
Thinking back to that game in 22, being in the stadium, Luton's an intimidating place to go, but that day Vicarage Road felt intimidating to Luton. What role, how much of an influence can our fans have on Sunday?
Yeah, huge. I think that it is a fixture that the home advantage plays a big part. So let's make it feel like an advantage. Supporters play a huge part in that. The players, the start of the game, the mindset that their players will be in might feel a little bit up against it. So let's try and compound on that. And ultimately, it's all about us being consistent now. Because if we play to a consistent level of applying ourselves as well as quality we have in the last 4 games, I feel like the result will take care of itself.
Can you get more nervous for this time in other games?
Yes. Yeah. I wasn't going to try and hide something then. Yes, so nervous probably not the right word. A few butterflies, but these are the type of games that you're really in it for. Absolutely. I mean, these are the butterflies that if I'd have retired as being a player and sat at home or sat in a studio, I couldn't live without these butterflies. This is what you're in it for.